Greetings and salutations, YouTube. Friar Chuck here, and we are back with episode number. What week is it? 4? Okay, so this is episode 5 of our Madden 25 Los Angeles Chargers rebuild. We started off 3-0, very surprisingly, at least in my eyes. You guys may have seen it coming, I don't know. We are first in our division, but now we have to take on last year's Super Bowl champion, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are very overpowered in Madden, probably for good reason. But they've got Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the backing of every Taylor Swift fan in the world. So that energy alone is going to be difficult to overcome. So yeah, 87 overall, 89 offense, 85 defense. It's it's gonna be fun. We are at home though, so there's that. Um, but if you guys remember from last episode, we had a lot of injuries happen. I say a lot. We had one, but a very important one. Cameron Dicker, our kicker, torn labrum, out for 3 weeks. So we did sign Dustin Hopkins to be our temporary kicker. So let's make sure that he is actually the starting kicker and it's not our punter, because for some reason punters can't kick in this game. So yeah, Dustin Hopkins is the kicker right now. Okay, so let's do this little actually let's spin these staff points we have. Trying to get down to after school tutoring so we get a couple more uh so that we can get more extra sessions in training. Okay, storylines. Justin Herbert's been good. Avoiding turnovers, I think, is a pretty safe answer here. I'm not entirely sure how many interceptions he's. Oh, I guess they didn't agree with that, but oh, okay. He's only got 3 picks. I would say that that's doing a good job holding onto the ball. Does he have any fumbles? He's fumbled once. We don't even necessarily know that was a turnover. I don't understand. Let's take one more look at our negotiations here. We do have $71 million in cap space. Um, so we have discussed the fact that Khalil Mack will be leaving the team after this season, and probably during this season. He's 33 years old, and 2 years for $51 million. That's a lot of money. We only have 71 million in cap room. We have to keep in mind that Justin Herbert is making, you know, a ton of money. So Connor Williams, though, I will attempt to re-sign. I'm willing to give him a 4-year deal. He does decide to come back. I'm not super sold on J.K. Dobbins coming back yet. I guess it'll kind of depend on how he handles the next few weeks. But there is we do want to try and trade Khalil Mack. We may wait till the trade deadline. I don't know. I don't know why I'm really looking on the trade block for this. But I did have an idea for a trade. So the Falcons are very clearly looking for pass rush help. As you can see, right outside linebacker and left outside linebacker are both listed as positions of need for them. So is quarterback for some strange reason. Um, I mean, they've got Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix Jr., so I don't really get that. Corner, okay, I could see, because, of course, yeah, they don't have any depth after AJ Terrell. So my idea here is Kyle Pitts has been kind of a bust with them. I don't know if it's really a bust per se, but he's not been amazing. Um, I don't even know if we can pull this trade off. Okay, we could, but they need a pass rusher really bad. We are in need of a tight end, a dynamic playmaking tight end, as kind of the last piece of our offense. So this is kind of the trade I'm. This is kind of the trade package I'm looking at. Khalil Mack being the centerpiece of ours. Kyle Pitts being the centerpiece of theirs. We send them Hayden Hurst as a and as an addition to kind of make up for them not having a tight end anymore. Um, the Falcons are kind of in a win now position, and then maybe they send us a fourth. Khalil Mack and Hayden Hurst for Kyle Pitts and a fourth. I feel like is reasonable value. Um, let's go ahead and submit this and just see what happens. I feel like in terms of Madden, we could get more value for Khalil Mack, but I feel like this is a more reasonable trade. Okay, done deal. So Khalil Mack and Hayden Hurst are going to the Falcons in exchange for Kyle Pitts and a 2025 fourth round pick. So I mean, Kyle Pitts is an 85 overall star dev. He's only 23, despite having 3 years of experience in the NFL. 91 speed, 86 catching, 93 acceleration. His route running is still to be developed, but he has 88 spec catch. Blocking, not the best, but he's not a blocking tight end. That's not what he's here for. Um, but that just gives Justin Herbert another weapon in the offense, which I think is very important. Defensively, we're going to have Tuli Tuipulotu move over and be the starting right outside linebacker now. And the other edge rusher besides Joey Bosa. Why? Why does Madden do this? I literally switched their positions for this reason. Thank you. Except for that. Okay. Everything else is fine. So now tight end is less of a need for us. The other guys that we've been kind of talking about trading, we've got obviously we've got time before the trade deadline. The trade deadline is week 8, but I kind of felt like going ahead and getting Khalil Mack out the door so that we didn't have to worry about it. Charles Omenihu's here. We'll see Kansas City trading with us right before the. So that's a trade that we could pull off with a little finagling, but I'm gonna leave it as it is for now. So let's get into the game. We've got a new receiving weapon. Uh, yeah, I don't even know how to start this team. To the dev trait for or the improvements for Easton Stick. Khalil Mack obviously we got rid of because he was in his contract year. Hayden Hurst was also in his contract year. Chark is kind of in the same situation, so that's why we're looking to move him. He's kind of the Chark and Perryman are really the two guys left on the list. Although $4 million a year for Perryman to be the second middle linebacker is not bad. Kind of a lot of money for Puna Ford. Either way, let's get into it. Chargers or the let's just view the superstars and the X factors here. So for us, we have one X factor, and that is Derwin James. We have 3 superstars in Justin Herbert, Joey Bosa, and Joe Alt. And the Chiefs have 3 superstar X factors in Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Chris Jones. They also have superstars in Creed Humphrey and Mr. High Step himself, Isaiah Pacheco. Oh, we are at home. It is time to break out. Ooh, do we want those of the Navy? Got to go with the Navy. These are one of my favorite uniform sets in the NFL. I do like the Royal jerseys as well. Powder blue for me though is one of those colors that if it is not in your color scheme, you definitely do not need to have it. But the Chargers have had, the powder blues for a long time, so I think it's okay with them. And I do like their powder blues. Kind of like out in North Carolina, their main color is the powder blue, and then like the mid to late 2000s Nuggets before they kind of rebranded, like the Carmelo era. Okay, so 1st and 10, the Chiefs get the ball first. And that is Xavier. No, that is Marquise Hollywood Brown with the 20-yard reception. This is going to be a tough game. We're going to pretty much have to score every play, I think. Every drive to be able to keep up with this team as Mr. Swift gets the first down there. Isaiah Pacheco now. Not super worried about the running game. Picked off. And that's our rookie linebacker, Colson, covering Isaiah Pacheco, and Patrick Mahomes runs him down from completely out of the frame. And what a start for the boys in blue. So Josh Palmer's got one-on-one with, I'm assuming, Trent McDuffie. And he's got it. Touchdown. It took us one play. It's exactly what we need to have happen here. The stadium is awfully full for a Chargers game. One play, one score. Mahomes comes back out onto the field. Really don't want to deal with the motivated Patrick Mahomes, which he should be following that interception. The biggest issue with this wide receiver room is they've got a lot of speed. They've got Marquise Brown, who's probably a 95, somewhere between a 95 and a 97 in speed. They have Mr. 40 himself, Xavier Worthy, the rookie from Texas, who really should have like 100 speed, but they don't do that in Madden anymore. And I don't even think he has 99, which is stupid. Mecole Hardman, who's pretty fast in his own right. Who went to the Jets last season to be with Aaron Rodgers. They kind of had a falling out there, so he either got traded and came back to Kansas City or got cut and came back to Kansas City. I know he came at the right time. There's Rashee Rice, who's also very fast. He just doesn't know when not to be fast. Personally, if I was them, I'd be playing Xavier Worthy over Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman is not a big receiver by any means, and I think he has a good rapport with Patrick Mahomes, as Kelsey's going to get down to the 2. And if this was real life, they'd be cutting to Taylor Swift about now. And Isaiah Pacheco is in for the touchdown. Kansas City responds right away. Brandon Rice on the return. Oh, and that I didn't see the guy there, but we do need to get the running game established in this game as well. Just because we need to not have the Chiefs need to not have the ball very much in this game. J.K. Dobbins, you see his stats from last week: 30 carries, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I actually didn't realize he had that good of a game. I don't remember who he played last week either. It hadn't been that long since I recorded the episode, but
The man in motion here is Chart. Herbert going to try to throw on third down. They set up the screen for Dobbins.
picks up the first down. 1st and 10 on the 41.
On third down with a pickup of 9.
I like this because it's going to get... No, that's Will Dissly. Oh my gosh. Picked a play specifically because I thought it would have Kyle Pitts getting involved. It doesn't, but Josh Palmer makes the big catch there. 1st and 10 from the 16. This probably does. Oh, that's Will Dissly again. What the hell? Will Dissly, get out of my play. And it is intercepted by Brian Cook. To be 100% honest with you, I don't know who that is. I kind of forced the ball to Kyle Pitts a little bit, but I do think he was open. As Polson comes up to make the tackle. He's proving so far to be possibly the most valuable out of our 3 hidden dev rookies. I mean, it's Joe Alt is, you can't really tell his impact. I mean, you could if he was bad, but we haven't been able to really tell his impact as much. Lad McConkey is kind of a every so often kind of force, and that's going to be a first down for Pacheco. I think Colson was there on the tackle again. 1st and 10 from the 37 for the Chiefs. Okay, who is that? It was a low-high Gilman. Should have had an easy interception there, but just kind of looks away from the ball, and the Chiefs pick up the first down and advance past the 50. We are knotted up in the turnover battle and knotted up on the scoreboard. So far that has been the indicative factor of how the game's going. Henley comes up with the... Okay, I've realized now, he's my number 2 sub linebacker. And honestly, I'm okay with that. He's been playing really well there. So I don't feel the need to get a different player there. If I had a good backup safety, I would move Derwin James down there. There's a big pickup by Travis Kelce. Again, just assume the cutaway to Taylor Swift because she's probably here somewhere. They're in LA. She's probably scheduled a concert here or something. 2nd and 5 from the 10. I do sincerely hope that for this NFL season, though, they kind of, get off of the whole Taylor Swift thing, because that got really annoying. That's really my whole issue with the Chiefs right now. Is just like, the NFL is kind of like force feeding us the Chiefs and everything to do with the Chiefs, and like I get it. They are the new dynasty. They are the best team in the league. Mahomes is far and away the best quarterback, and until something indicates otherwise, as Isaiah Pacheco is going to pick up the touchdown there. Until something is indicated otherwise, the Super Bowl kind of goes through them.
Second touchdown of the game.
But come on, enough.
Up to 5. What a standout
12
performance.
plays, 79 yards, and they use up nearly 6 minutes of clock.
Touchdown of the game.
And some backs, Mike, they just have a sense of finding the end zone and being able to finish off these runs. That's exactly what this guy has been able to do today, and we're just getting started.
And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Chargers offense about ready to take over once more.
Okay, Palmer's one-on-one, but that safety is over the top. Not anymore. Herbert is going to throw deep, and great coverage there by, is that Trent McDuffie? I think so. No, that's Watson, somebody. I don't.
On play action, it's Herbert.
Oh, can't get it. If we got good loft on that pass, Pitts is probably in the end zone now. But
It'll set up third down.
okay, I do not like this for a. I didn't like that call for a 3rd and 10.
From the gun, it's Herbert.
Just lad McConkey,
The open man. That's McConkey.
such a wee lad.
Inside the 40-yard line. That is a big play for LA. And even 30 yards. Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Herbert.
Nice catch there by Quentin Johnston. No, that was DJ Chark. What is he doing in the game? Get out of here.
And it results in a 1st down.
Tight end attack from this direction.
Again, they'll throw
Not a play that I've ever run, I don't think, but Kyle Pitts has got it. His 1st down as a Charger. Hoping that he becomes our new Antonio Gates.
extra point up and good.
And it is 14-14. Chiefs are definitely winning the time of possession battle. But so far, the turnover battle is even. The score is even.
18 apiece. The score as this one's away.
Fortunately, I feel like the interception I threw was a bit more impactful than theirs. We did score on the one that they threw, but the one that we threw was in the end zone. So could possibly make the argument that it was at least 3 points off the board. Because I do believe we were in field goal range. Another 1st down though for Kansas City. I'm just kind of hoping that we get a few more turnovers in this game because this is there we go. Ask and ye shall receive. Christian Fulton picks it off. Bad throw by Patrick Mahomes. And we get the opportunity to come take the lead.
Needs to come to the rescue of this quarterback because this defense, they're onto you. They've got 2 picks. They're starting to pick up on your tendencies. They're shifting guys over to counter them. Now you've got to add some wrinkles. Now you've got to throw them a curveball and try to shift back some of that advantage to your side.
Kyle Pitts wide open. Shakes off one tackler, brought down by Trent McDuffie. I'm not going to actively force feed Kyle Pitts the ball, but we have him. He's a big-time weapon. We need to get him the ball. You know, we're not the Falcons. We're not Arthur Smith or Matt Canada or whoever that was calling plays for him. There's Will Dissly, and he's going to get to the 1. I do think, though, that getting a really good number or a really productive number 2 tight end, and that is a touchdown for J.K. Dobbins. We retake the lead. But getting a productive number 2 tight end either through the draft or in free agency, just a good pass catcher, would be helpful to us because we run a lot of multi-tight end sets.
The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away.
And like Will Disley's not bad, but he's not. He's kind of a more balanced tight end as opposed to like a Kyle Pitts, who's a pure pass catcher.
The Chiefs offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They're searching here for the tying score, down 21-14. And they'll begin first and 10.
And that is caught by Rashee Rice. Second and 4 now. A little over 2.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Chiefs good starting field position for them, and they are at the 46 now, across the 50.
And they'll have it across midfield, down at the opposing 46-yard line.
Mahomes with no touchdowns today, but he does have 2 interceptions. Pacheco's the only Chief that's found the end zone.
Greg and I return to SoFi Stadium after a short break. They'll come up here first and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mahomes.
Nice throw and catch there. Can't really blame. I don't know who was in coverage there, but can't really blame them. They had Marquise Brown blanketed, but at the end of the day, Mahomes is going to Mahomes. Kelsey left open, and Mahomes finds him. This is the first game on our schedule that I looked at and truly thought we had a challenge for. Headed by Rashee Rice for the touchdown. He's manned up against Tony Jefferson. That's just not a matchup we're ever going to win. 21-21. All knotted up here as we have a chance to go take the lead again before halftime. Carson Wentz evidently is the new backup quarterback for Patrick Mahomes. As a Chiefs fan, I don't know how you should feel about that. I think essentially you should just hope that nothing ever happens to Mahomes. But you should probably be hoping that anyway. Anyway, first down and 10 from the 33. We've got 1:16 left to go down and score. There's Ladd McConkey in the middle of the field, and he's going to get to the 31-yard line. He goes down with an injury, so not only do we lose our slot receiver, we also spend a timeout. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of DJ Chark now. As you do see him there on the outside. That's Josh Palmer. Ball down on the 8. Not going to call a timeout yet. I'm not, I'm trying to use as much of this time as I can. I'd rather settle for a field goal and give them the ball back with a lot less time than get it in the end zone and they still have like a full minute to score because they have all of their timeouts. So we are going to run the clock down here pretty far. I guess you can question the play clock decisions as DJ Chark does a really nice job of breaking that up. Okay, McConkey has a bruised hand. He will return soon. Well, his soon is going to be now because I need him back. You got to throw that out of bounds. I wasn't comfortable with anybody with the coverage they were in. 3rd and goal from the 8. Palmer, touchdown. And we managed to only leave 20 seconds on the clock, so I would consider that a win as well. With the speed that the Chiefs have, though, that's still plenty of time. Because if I was them, I would just... It'd be a... Shearers, Xavier Worthy, McCall Hardman all out there. and just tell him to run. I
And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard
think I
line.
told him to come back in, and I didn't really
So they
need
come to
to.
the
It's
line
probably not
for
the best
first
idea.
down and 10.
Well, I think they may be taking my advice here.
They
And
put Kelsey in motion.
can I not audible at this point? I guess not. Nice job by Asante Samuel Jr.
It's incomplete.
Recovering on that play.
Finds themselves trailing. It's
Hardman did have him beat.
been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw.
Don't agree with their play calling here.
Where he's completed passes at a high
They're going to be happy just to let it go into halftime
And 5.
or not. I don't know.
Final play of this first half. Here's Mahomes. And he's
So
taken down.
very questionable.
Runs out on
Our
this
play
drive.
clock management ideal. Theirs was
And both teams ready to
strange.
play on, so we'll do the same as we get set for quarter number 3.
I'm pretty sure we came out defending the medium pass.
Both teams
But we get the ball to
ready
start
to go
halftime, so
as we
nice
get
chance for us to go up by 2 scores
here
here.
on EA Sports.
Which is something we definitely need against Kansas
Second
City.
and 10 at the 8-yard line.
As I will not feel comfortable with any lead until
Past the 35-yard
it
line.
is legitimately impossible for them to come back.
First and 10 now from the 36. Herbert.
There's Kyle Pitts again,
Taken by Pitts.
juking some
He gets it
defenders.
across midfield.
He gets it up to the 47.
47-yard
Nice
line.
play there. I don't know why DJ Chark now is playing over. What does my depth chart look like? Did they move? Yes.
Now it's Dobbins.
When I told them to generate the best lineup, I thought they'd just do it for defense, not the offense, too.
Inside the 40-yard line. A gain of 8. He'll come to the line
Second and
now on
2.
2nd and 2.
Ball on the 39.
Play action. Now Herbert. Very quick
Out of
release.
reach there. I felt the pressure more than I should have.
That's incomplete.
If they had a guy coming off the edge that scared me a little bit, but he did get picked up by the running back there. So
To throw is
a
Herbert.
little antsy on my part, but it is what it is. Will Disley picks up the first, so no harm, no foul.
He's going to have the first down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
See, this play is a perfect example of nice catch by Quentin Johnston. We're down to the 13. That's a perfect example of why we need a
With his weight all game long,
good
he comes through
number 2
with a
tight end.
grab and a first down.
Because Disley was the tight end running that route instead of Kyle Pitts.
A modest gain, maybe 2 yards. It's 2nd down.
So I guess the argument could have been made that maybe I shouldn't have. And again, Disley is the one running the
They bring their
hot
tight
route
end
here
out.
instead of.
Play action now. It's Herbert.
But he gets open, so I don't guess it matters. Touchdown, Chargers.
Disley. Touchdown Chargers. Falcons now.
4th touchdown. No, 3rd touchdown.
The kick.
4th touchdown for
And the Chargers will
Justin
extend
Herbert.
his 3rd quarter
I
lead.
think J.K. Dobbins has only scored 1. Yeah, because Josh Palmer's got 2,
Ready to
Pitts
go.
has got 1, and Disley's got 1.
Moments away.
So very tight end heavy offense so
This one is
far.
worthy to return. And a solid run back there. He'll get
So
this out
we're up
past the
35-21. We haven't really struggled a whole lot with all Madden with the Chargers.
of this second
And again, the argument could have been made beforehand that maybe we picked a really easy team, kind of similar to West Virginia in NCAA,
with 1st and 10.
although
And he gets that to Hardman. After the
I
catch,
would argue that West Virginia is probably a little bit tougher than the Chargers, but
2nd
either
and
way,
1.
the Chargers were classified as rebuilding on the little team select screen. They had the 5th pick in the draft last year. They have a brand new head coach, and that is going to be a touchdown for the Chiefs. We don't have anyone near fast enough.
All the way.
So they're going to bring it back to within one score.
Touchdown, Chiefs.
Zeno lead is safe.
Second touchdown of the afternoon.
Really, the thing that the Chargers had going for them that most of the other rebuilding teams don't is they had a very good quarterback.
It's 35-28. The kickoff team is out on the field.
And also like being an 80 overall or whatever they were,
This one taken at the 7.
that actually makes them one of the worst teams in Madden. 77 is the worst team. That's the lowest team ranking, and I think that's the Giants.
Set of downs to work with.
Um,
It is first down and 10.
so I mean, it's not like we can.
And he'll only get it to the 26-yard line.
I mean, even like the Patriots, I think, are an 80. Although without Matt Judon, I would say their overall probably goes down. I shouldn't have thrown that there.
That's going to be incomplete.
Good job by Pitts there playing
That time,
defender.
contact, jarring the ball loose and forcing third down. From the gun, it's Herbert. Open man
Josh
again.
Palmer
It's complete.
gets open again and he fumbles. It's recovered by McConkey.
And it's recovered by one of the
349, 4 touchdowns and a pick for Justin Herbert today. He's been excellent.
On first and 10, here's Herbert.
And we reward McConkey's hustle on the last play with a touchdown pass. It is now a 42 to 28 lead.
Extra point up and good from Hopkins.
We haven't had to punt yet.
Extend their lead.
The only drive we have not scored a touchdown, it was an interception in the end zone.
Both teams
Um,
ready to go once more.
the Chiefs have pretty much been on about the same pace as they've had 2 drives that they didn't score on, and both of those were interceptions. I don't know why. No, who is that returning kicks? Is that okay? It's Xavier Worthy. I thought Pacheco for some reason. I was like, no, that's not his number. I was very confused as to why Pacheco would have been returning kicks.
Now, faking the give. He'll go left side here and complete this one. And they will bring him down on the other
Colson
side of midfield.
makes the tackle there, his 5th of the game.
On first down, it's Mahomes. Open man right side is Kelsey.
Joey Bosa out in coverage.
Too far, tackled after gain of just 8.
Don't love to see him in coverage, but love to see him making the play. 2nd and 9 for the Chiefs.
Mahomes now to throw on second down. Right back to Kelsey again. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30.
So this game has really kind of turned into which offense breaks first. By breaking, obviously, I mean doesn't score. And Colson lets Kelsey slip by him. It was a pretty solid route there, so I don't really blame him. Let's switch into a zone here.
Right back to the air for Mahomes.
Mahomes
And intercepted.
throws it right to Asante Samuel Jr. And I'm not going to say that that's the dagger, but that is a huge, huge mistake for the Chiefs. If our offense continues the way it has been, we have a chance to take a 3-touchdown lead here.
Fake. Herbert. Over the middle, that's his tight end, Pitts.
Pitts has got a 17-yard gain.
Down at the 37. That's the way to get started. A pickup of 17 and a very quick first down. Throwing now is Herbert. They set up the screen.
And we're not really running the ball a whole lot. It's kind of been a
Screen and took care of it. Blown up in the back.
keeping the pedal to the metal.
Here's a second.
All of these games matter. Every single one of them.
Gun. Here's Herbert. Now,
Herbert goes deep to Johnston.
for Johnston.
Johnston has to jump a little bit for it. He doesn't quite get hit in stride,
The 30-yard line.
so he's not able to get into the end zone. And see, like this configuration. Why? I would rather have Pitts be where Parham is, and Pitts and Parham switch, but whatever.
They'll throw with Herbert. That'll be complete to Dobbins.
5-yard
Third
pickup for
down,
Dobbins.
so they need it to pick them to 5 and sets up second
Second
and
and
5.
5, I'll run the ball here. And this definitely looks like a good opportunity to do it.
Here's Dobbins.
Yeah, one guy in the box, and he ran to the complete opposite direction of our hole.
That is a gain of 15, and now it's first and goal. Here's Herbert.
Touchdown number 2 for McConkey. And we are firing on all cylinders right now.
Touchdowns for him now in the afternoon. So add another touchdown and touchdown pass for that matter. He has thrown 6 already in this one.
49, 28, a 3-touchdown lead. And if you notice, that is exactly equal to the number of interceptions that we have today. So we're winning the turnover battle, and it's showing. I wish we were producing more sacks, but
And we're back to it as the kicks.
I mean, at the end of the day, interceptions are way better than sacks. So
Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line.
and you get a sack on first down, a sack on second down, it's third down, and then you pick off the pass that the 2 sacks really don't even matter. You know what I'm saying?
First down throw. Mahomes working the right side. Taken
Weird
in
pickup there.
bounds.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the
They've
route tree.
time, but they've still got to score 3 touchdowns, and their defense hasn't been able to stop me yet.
He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
They go right back to Rice. He's got it again. And they'll have it across midfield.
Rashee Rice has had a good game, 8 catches for 156 yards. Mahomes' game would look a lot better if he didn't have three interceptions.
Play fake. Now it's Mahomes.
And he nearly throws that one right to Diane Henley.
It's incomplete.
I still don't think that's how you pronounce his first name, but I don't know how you would say it otherwise.
And it'll be second down. Play action here. Mahomes.
Diving catch by Travis Kelce. He does end up rolling out of bounds.
He has been busy. Nice.
First and 10, Chiefs are in the 34.
A first down.
Whenever we get the ball back, we will start trying to
It's
run it
Mahomes.
some more. Nice catch there for Rashee Rice. And the Chiefs are going to lose one of their offensive linemen.
An injured player.
Not sure who that is.
Not a welcome development here late in a one-sided game. Throwing again, it's Mahomes. And he will
Again,
score again.
the Tony Jefferson on
Rashee
Rashee Rice matchup is not one that we've been winning.
Great
Touchdown,
for
Chiefs.
He now
Absolute barn burner here.
The extra point
49-35.
is good. And the Chiefs are in
6 plays, 66 yards in a minute 50. They've got time.
ready to go once more as the kicks away.
Okay, hold on. Real awkward, I know. We'll look at it on the replay.
Coming from the 7.
Because that was not. That was Justin Reed that actually. The random players to end up kicking it off. Justin Reed actually makes sense. Yeah. I don't know if it on his on the depth chart if it'll show me what his kick power is, but he is a. I think he has done field goals for them before. Oh my God, he's actually their kickoff specialist. That's crazy. That's wild. Okay. Well, shout outs to Madden for that little bit of immersion, I guess. I mean, I doubt he actually is going to do kickoffs for them, but what's his kick power? Will it show me? He's got 92 kick power. He's not a terrible option for kickoffs. I mean, if it makes him happy, I guess.
Now a first and 10 from the 38-yard line.
I've seen some bugs, and I don't know if it was in the final because we are now in like official release for Madden. Um, it officially released Friday, or no, Thursday. Officially released Thursday. Um, when I recorded and that was picked off. That was a terrible throw. Made a terrible decision, and the Chiefs are going to get the ball back here. No lead is safe. Cam Jones picks that off. He threw it right to him. 49-35. They have good field position. Oh, Colson, you got to come up with that, my guy. Got to come up with that.
Mahomes now on second down. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And nice work after the catch. He
3rd and 1.
short of the first down marker, but it is a pickup of 9. They put Kelsey in
They
motion.
send Kelsey in motion. He goes back out to the side.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mahomes. He'll get this one.
I really thought that was going to go to Kelsey, but the result ended up being a first down anyway. I switched on to Colson there at the end. I don't think it would have mattered because I think I probably would have still got beat.
Gray is the motion man here.
As I think that's Noah Gray that they just sent in motion.
That's over the middle and caught by Rice.
Rasheed Rice is absolutely killing us. We need to not be in man coverage anymore, I don't think, because that's the only way Tony Jefferson's ending up in coverage on him.
Also comes with a first down. Throwing from the gun. Here's Patrick.
Oh, there's Tony Jefferson on Mecole Hardman. It still fails. This is the exact drive that the Chiefs needed. Going quick, they had good field position. That is assuming that they score here. Which Mahomes is going to be chased out, and he ends up throwing it away. Our pass rush cannot get there quick enough. Second and goal from the 1. And he finds Xavier Worthy for the touchdown. It's about time they got him in the game. Hook him. 49-42 after the field goal.
Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the
Yeah,
very least, they
saying about that, I've seen bugs where like your running back or quarterback will come out and do the kickoff, and so that's why I was like, okay, who is that? So I thought it was a bug, but it actually being Justin Reed makes sense. And Bogby dislocated his shoulder, will not be able to return for this game, and will probably miss some time after this week. Absolute offensive explosion, over 1,000 total yards between the two teams. 2nd and 3 now after that run by J.K. Dobbins.
Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Now Herbert on the bootleg. And he just does get that one away. He was being
3rd and 3. What do we do here?
maybe he's fortunate.
They really want us to run, and I really don't.
a rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average.
Needed 2, he got like 4. 23 of 32, 446 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks for Justin Herbert.
Just how well he threw the ball, and you thought maybe this defense would come up with some answers in the second half to slow him down, but so far that has proven to not be the case.
On 1st and 10, here's Herbert. He'll check this down to the running back. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
What an advantage it brings a defense when you have
Let's get out of the
quarterbacks that
recents.
are such willing tacklers. It just brings an extra element
2nd and
to your
6.
ability to defend the entire field.
We're getting
Makes
some
it
time off the
easier on
clock
your
here.
Lone back
Oh, nice play by the Chiefs defense.
He is met and
As
good defense.
Cook comes up to
On that play.
make the stop, and it's now a 3rd and 8.
On 3rd and 8.
I kind of like the matchup I've got with Kyle Pitts right now.
Shotgun now for Herbert.
He is going to pick up the first.
Touchdown on the books from earlier. That catch gets him a first down.
And this Herbert versus Mahomes duel is one that NFL fans should hope to see for a while.
I'll give on the ground. And he's
6 yards there for Dobbins as we get to exactly the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. Back to the ground. He'll get it again.
Any points, I think, probably seal the game. A touchdown definitely does. As we are forced to use a timeout due to an injury.
They'll stay on the ground. And he'll be taken.
And the Chiefs use their first. 75 yards for J.K. Dobbins.
They take a timeout.
Zion Johnson with the bruised sternum, not going to be able to return for the game. That's fine.
Strong, and he's doing just that.
We'll do it the backup for the last minute 52.
Been terrific. But he's going to give you a full 4 quarters, and I think at
Ooh.
this point in the game, he knows
I
there's
see why you're a
something going
backup,
on.
sir.
To the 5-yard line.
Since it is a touchdown game, I'm not going to bother passing down here. I don't think there's a reason to.
They'll go with him again.
In fact, on this play, I think I'll just take a knee.
He'll take this down to the 4-yard line.
Do I? I don't know, because there's a minute 45 left. If I take a knee, I can run it down to about a minute, kick the field goal, and I make it. That's a 10-point game. That means they have to get 2 scores in the span of roughly a minute with no timeouts. I mean, it is.
3rd and goal. Victory formation.
I think this is safer than going for the pass or the run, because if I throw an interception or fumble it, then they get the ball back. I put no points on the board, and they have the opportunity to go down and score without me having scored any, with a lot of time left. So I think this is the safest play. Kick is up and good. Dustin Hopkins nails his first field goal for us in what I hope is his short but successful career as a Charger. So the Chiefs have got to go probably about 70 yards with a minute and 2 left. No timeouts. 76 yards. If there's anybody that could do it, it would be Patrick Mahomes, but I just don't think there's enough time left. That's why I took the time. That's why I went ahead and just took a knee and kicked the field goal. I just think it was safer. They don't pick up the first on that. None of your routes should be doing that in this situation. The AI play calling, even on all Madden, is just atrocious. And that is a sack for Tuli Pelotu. His first game as the starter to replace Khalil Mack. And I don't know if it's a false start or encroachment. Encroachment, so we are going to give him a free 5 yards. But I don't think that's going to make a difference. He was itching for another sack, man.
Now, a big third down.
Secondary.
Out of the gun, here's Mahomes.
Okay.
And he is out of
It's not
bounds
really
on the
what I wanted to do.
other side of midfield.
I wanted to let him keep running so that he run more time off the clock. But he only got to the 44. He has got plenty of arm strength to get this into the end zone. Don't get me wrong. But not if Joey Bosa lays the hammer on him. We are going to come away with the win against the division rival. 52-42 against the Chiefs. Offense has had absolutely no trouble this season. Defense, little suspect.
So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL.
You take away the turnovers, Patrick Mahomes had a really good game.
At EA Madden NFL.
But,
The Chargers
I
are
mean,
winners here.
literally, he 498,
From SoFi.
82% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, but he had 3 interceptions. Justin Herbert, 472, 73% completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rushing, we were more successful running the ball, 78 yards for J.K. Dobbins and a touchdown. Pacheco, of course, had 2 touchdowns. Rasheed Rice absolutely murdered us. He had 209 yards. Travis Kelce had 111. McCole Hardman had 94. We did actually have 300-yard receivers with Kyle Pitts hitting 118 and a touchdown in his debut for us. So, fantastic. Palmer 128 and 2. McConkey 102 and 2. Dobbins had 16 yards. 34 yards and a touchdown for Disley. Johnson did have 53 yards after we finally realized that he was not in the lineup. Defensively, let's just go look at ours. I don't really care about their stats. Junior Colson, 12 tackles, 1 TFL, 1 interception. Defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, I think, is definitely Justin Herbert. Tuli Pelotu, though, had a. That was his one. The only thing he did was that sack in the fourth quarter. But shout outs to him for it. Love to see it. And we will move to 4-0. I don't know, guys. I'm on all Madden. I'm really, I think the only thing that's helping us is our offense is as good as it is. Quentin Johnston, we will up his playmaker attribute, keep him in the scheme fit. I'm glad he has had a good season so far, so we've actually been able to develop him. And then, of course, Josh Palmer's also had a good year, along with the rookie. So we've scored at least 40 points in all of our games so far. Okay, so we do have the week 5 bye, a very early bye week. As it sits, we are 4-0. Houston is also 4-0. Denver, the only team in the AFC without a win so far. Let's just look at the whole standings at this point. Cowboys are 4-0, Texans are 4-0, and we are 4-0. Points for, we are probably leading by a ton. Yeah, the Texans are second with 133. Chiefs have scored 130 despite only having one win. And points against, we've given up 136. We've given up more points than the Chiefs have scored. So given up 136 points at this point, and we're still outscoring people by 48. And we are 2-0 in our division too, so that can't be understated. As we will have another division matchup when we come out of the bye. But as you can see on the team rankings, we are first in points per game, first in pass yards per game, sixth in rush yards per game, last in defensive points per game, last in defensive pass yards per game, sixth in defensive rush yards per game. I do think before the trade deadline, we're going to have to get another corner. Uh, okay, I picked his event. Let's see if we get a response. Okay, yep, that makes sense. Man, it's bugged. I don't know what. I'm okay. Well, he's gonna be upset probably, but again, I'm not really interested in making him that happy because we are not keeping him around past this season. So, and I can't be bothered to know the. Oh, the Texans lost, so I think it's us and the Cowboys. Herbert is now second in passing yards and looks like he's tied for first in passing touchdowns. The three people, the other two people, are both players that we've played. Receiving yards, Rasheed Rice is in first after that ridiculous game he had against us. Hey, go back. I was looking at that. And then Derwin James and Alohi Gilman are both tied for second in interceptions. Okay, mock draft. I'm going to assume we're in 32nd. Yeah, they have us picking a right guard. Not opposed to that. Also not opposed to a corner. In fact, very much in favor of a corner. But I take a right guard too because we don't really have a set in stone long term starter at right guard. Who is our current starter at right guard? Jamari Salyer. Yeah, so we're gonna need a starting right guard. We need defensive line help. We do see Colson's depth trait unveiled. Some of the mystery kind of taken out of it now. Okay. So with our current record situation, we really need to consider bringing in a good established corner. I kind of wish that Patrick Peterson was still here. None of these guys. I mean, I could bring Jason Verrett back. That'd be kind of a neat homecoming. he is a mentor too, so that would be good for Asante Samuel. Okay, bringing Jason Verrett back to Los Angeles. Well, back to Los Angeles. I don't think he ever played for them when they were in Los Angeles. So upgrade these players, and we'll look at those messages or whatever in the next episode. Our current Jamari Salyer does have an upgrade. But anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the absolute offensive explosion we had. I hope you liked the trade that we made, and let me know if you think we got enough for Khalil Mack. I think that was a fair trade. Um, obviously, in real life, the Falcons don't do that now because they have Matt Judon. Um, but I think if the Chargers were to would have offered them that exact trade, they probably would have done it. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. This is Friar Chuck saying bye bye.